The rumor mill and hype machine are running around again at Apple. This time it's over what's been called the iPad mini, even though Apple won't confirm any details, including the device's name. Whatever it's called, it is widely expected to be introduced later this month as a smaller tablet to better compete on price against Google's and Amazon's devices. Now, usually a new product from Apple brings focus to a lot of companies providing the parts, but tonight's word on the street is content. James Rogers is back with us. He's with TheStreet.com at the NASDAQ tonight. James, what does an Apple product launch mean for content companies?
Well, it's interesting. Typically, when Apple launches a new product, a lot of the attention is focused on the components to see which chip makers are really riding the Apple wave. But I think that there are other ways for investors to basically tap into the Apple ecosystem, and a lot of that could be through, certain companies that have really worked out how they're going to deliver content or basically use the devices for online retail.
Apple, of course, is very successful creating its own ecosystem for content and e-commerce, but Disney is one of those that's been able to tap into it with its generations of content. The share price up near a new high. What is the opportunity that a new mini tablet or the tablet market in general presents for Disney?
Well, if you look at a company that's providing a lot of content over mobile devices, you really have to look at Disney. They were really quick to seize the opportunity with these, these iPhones and these iPads, and also mobile devices from other manufacturers. Looking at the likes of interactive books, games, even comic books. But one of the things you have to remember with Disney, though, is that the company is a media empire. And it's been signing a lot of content distribution deals for live streaming apps with the likes of, say, Time Warner Cable, Comcast, Cablevision, and it looks like there's going to be more of these coming down the pipe.
What is the model? In other words, is it traditional media delivering an audience to an advertiser, or is there something more with this new media model for Disney?
Well, I think with Disney, that's certainly an element of it, but it's really the whole thing. As one investor I was talking to recently said, basically these devices are really opening the door to Disney's world. And it's, it's the things that we've talked about, but it's also theme parks, it's merchandise, it's everything. And I also think that, with an iPad mini, this smaller size device, it's really going to increase its presence in this market, particularly when we're talking about children starting to use these tablets.
You've also been writing about Priceline.com as a content provider on tablets.
That's right.
Not really thought of as a content company, but rather e-commerce. What's the opportunity here?
Well, yeah, these are online retailers, really. Priceline is one of the largest online travel agents in the world, and I think they're really well positioned for the mobile boom. The company says that mobiles are really growing part of its business, and it's done a lot of work in this space. It has a mobile version of its website. It's also enhanced some of its products to make it easier for customers to buy things and basically make bookings via mobile devices. And I think that this company's fundamentals are also really, really good. So, it's not an obvious Apple-related stock, but I do think it's one to look out for.
All right. How about ownership position? Do you own either of them?
No, none whatsoever.
It is word on the street. You can find the article at NBR.com. James Rogers with TheStreet.com.